Hello and welcome to our 4-part video series, How to Create a Website That Builds Trust. Now, we all get bombarded with so much information these days. Between the internet, on TV, radio commercials, there's so much advertising being thrown at us. How does one really focus and hear the message in all that noise? And if you're tuning into this series, you're probably wondering, how do I get my website to stand out or marketing effort to stand out and be heard above the noise? We've broken this down into 4 great parts, and I really believe there's a lot of great content here. And I don't want you to worry too much about having to get it all at once or having to take too many notes, because at the end of this video, we're going to share some of this content with you. There's a link at the bottom, and you'll see the link again at the close of this, where you can download a PDF that has a summary and a cheat sheet, and even some checklists that go along with this content. So I'm really glad you've tuned in. Thank you for showing up. And let's jump right in. The first part of this is create a website that reflects your core values. All right, let's get started. First, I'd like to define what I mean by core values. Values are the cornerstone of so many parts of your life. For your relationships, your success, what you believe about your clients, how you deal with your free time, money, work, friends, it really shows up in a lot of areas of our lives. And I really do believe it's an essential assignment to branding and marketing your business. If you're the type of company that has these at the cornerstone of what you believe and how you operate, it's going to be much easier to share that with your potential clients and customers and market in a way that's powerful and really attracts people to want to work with you. Now, here's a list of some of the values that I'm talking about. This is not by far an all-encompassing list, it's just an example. And if you're incorporating these into your business and your marketing plan, then I strongly believe that you're providing a better quality of service or product and really connecting with your customers, because it's founded in something. It's not just about the pursuit of money or selling more widgets. You're really providing a service and engaging with the community on a larger level. Let's talk about a very famous example of brand and values and how that comes together. It's in the brand Apple. Now, their tagline is Think Different, and I think it's pretty clear what their values are, even in just reading that tagline. Apple stands for things like innovation, growth, prosperity, ease of use, and when they started using the tagline Think Differently, it goes a really long way at summing a lot of those feelings up. Now, I personally think that those values show up in every aspect of their company. It's in their advertising, it's in their marketing, their commercials, and even in their operating system. It's all about innovation, ease of use, and thinking differently. And that's a great example of how core values are weaved into every part of a company. And I think it's really clear when you're thinking about Apple on how they've used their values to market more strongly and really identify their brand. I'm sure you've seen their advertising or been on their website. How much of a mismatch would it be if their website looks something like Reddit? So that's a crystal clear example of how their brand and values are showing up in their design. And now, why does a rock-solid, consistent marketing approach with its core values build trust? Well, it shows right from the front what a company stands for. You know what to expect, and in a way you know what you're going to get. If you're going to buy a new product from Apple, there's almost an inherent knowledge of what that experience is going to be like, because that value and that idea of Think Different is woven through every aspect of it. And this is a great time to be thinking about your company. How are your values going to show up not only in your advertising, but in your customer experience and how you do business? Here are some specific ways you can use your core values on your website to help build trust. Really, defining your core values is an exercise in brainstorming and ideas and then refining that process. It's a small investment that really does have huge payoffs. So internally, the way our process works is a worksheet that you can go through, and it helps move people along. But without that resource, what I'd like you to do is sit down and just start listing some of the values that you believe are important to your company. This is the first round, so just let it go. Do you believe in things like growth, prosperity, innovation, integrity, ease of use, joy, and fun? What are all these parts of the way you do business, the way you want to be seen, the way you think you're providing your services? If you come up with a list of 10 or 20, you're in a great place. If it goes on more than that, that's fine too. Because in the next step, what you're going to do is circle those ones that you think are the most important. Maybe cross out the ones that were just, yeah, it sounds nice, but that's not really a fit for me. And at the end of this process, you're going to have a really powerful set of hopefully 3 or 5 words that really are the core of your business. These are your values. For example, at Arise, our values are integrity, growth, connection, and service. We strive to reduce our clients' struggle and increase our success and provide an experience that's not just a service. If you have a sentence like that to work with, now you've got a really good place to start with a strong marketing effort that's going to connect with your clients and customers on a deeper level. Okay, let's talk about part 2. This is where we match your core values with the content and user experience on your website. I'm going to give you some specific steps on how to do that. First, you want to solve the user problems and address their pain points and support their success. So that means really getting down to the root of what is the problem that client's having and how are you going to provide a solution for that, and share that right off the bat. Next, the second point would be share how you do business and what makes you stand out. And hopefully in the values exercise, you came up with a little bit of how, or what it's like to engage with you as a client or customer. Next, create a website that quickly answers common questions that users have so you save them time and energy and it's easy to navigate. The worst thing is to have a website where people don't know where to go or don't know what to do next. So we want to be strategic, give them an easy way to access the information, and really share quickly how it is that you can solve their problems. Next, know your visitors' interest and create helpful content for them. Here's your chance to become a part of their tribe and show that you truly do understand their business and what they have going on. Last, be clear and direct with your call to action. Tell your visitors what to do and what to expect. For example, click here to get in touch, or even download your copy of my free ebook here. Don't be afraid to tell them exactly what to do. Sometimes it's even better because users need to know what you expect of them. And when they do respond to these online requests, reply promptly and sincerely. It makes a big difference in trust if there's a real person behind the screen responding to them. Okay, here's number 3. Don't be afraid to use your core values right up front. I believe that people really want to work with people, and by using your values in your marketing and in your language and messaging on your website, you're going to show who you are and start to share what it's like to work with you right from the get-go. And that doesn't mean you're going to exclude people that aren't, in alignment with your values, but it's really going to help attract the kind of people you want to work with. You're going to have better relationships with your customers, and it really does set a good footprint for trust. People are going to know who you are, they're going to feel a connection right away, and I think that's a much stronger way of approaching it. Okay, here's number 4. Check in regularly with your customers and clients to see how things are going. They're going to give you first-hand feedback, and you'll know right away if you're delivering your services or your products are solving that problem that you've promised, and if the experience of working with you is a match to your values. And if it's not, you're going to want to know that right away. Or maybe what's at the heart of your company isn't exactly what you think it is. Either way, that positive or critical feedback is going to be really valuable to you. If it's positive, that's great. You can share it online in testimonials, case studies. That kind of social proof goes miles when you're talking about trust on a website. If you do have a happy interaction with a client, go ahead and ask them if they'd be open to sharing that with you in writing. You can use that as a testimonial and post it right there on your website. And if they're willing, have them share a photo too. That's another example of a real person experiencing your products and enjoying using them. Okay, and after you've gotten that feedback, it's a great idea to make regular adjustments to your site. I find so many times clients view their website as this thing they've built and they can forget about it and just let it do its thing. But it really is a work in progress and it needs to grow with your company. So in those check-ins, if you're getting feedback from your clients and you notice a misalignment, go ahead and clean that up on your site and your messaging and make sure it's a match. It's going to help you in the long run, and it's another easy way to include that sense of trust, and it's going to provide you a lot of value. Okay, so that's how to create a website that uses your core values to help you build trust. Thank you for tuning in today. What I think I'd like to leave you with is that your brand stands for something, and if you're not in control of that or doing it consciously, then there's a good chance that you're not putting out exactly what you'd like to be, and it's not doing as much for you to attract the clients and create a sense of trust that you'd like. Remember, your brand is not what you think it is, it's what people say it is. So keep that in mind. Go through the steps, define your core values, start using them, check in with your customers, see what their experience is like, and start tying that all together, and don't be afraid to use that in your messaging. We're going to jump into the other parts of our video series. So you just heard about how to create a website that reflects your core values. Next, we'll talk about building trust through a consistent brand. Part 3 of this is transparency is the new black. It's always good to be upfront and honest. And part 4, you are as good as they say you are. So thanks for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you next time. If you'd like to learn more about how we work or work directly with us, you can visit us at arisedesigngroup.com. There's a link down below too that you could just click on. We'd love to explore what you have going on with your brand and see if we can help you firsthand.